What's up everybody, and welcome to the video. So today I'm going to have to apologise in advance because you may be triggered. I'm an angry man today and I'll explain why. I'm going to look at a few articles today, but I'm going to start by talking about Boris Johnson. So he's been criticised in the press for days now. He's been accused of inflaming hatred and division, whipping up anger. He's been blasted by his own sister. But he said he will not be bullied into moderating his language. Now, am I a typical voter? I would say possibly no. But I tell you what, I am angry. So did Boris cause this anger in me? No, he did not. Is he whipping the anger up inside me? No, he is not. In fact, he's actually calming me to some degree, as what I see is a politician who actually might get Brexit done, and that's really all I want at this point. I've been following Brexit for the 3 years, like I'm sure you all have, and I felt many different things during that period. At the beginning, I was elated. I was feeling so good that we'd actually made that decision and actually decided to do something good with the country. And then, like many of you, I'm sure over the course of those 3 years, I become a bit stolid and staid and actually a bit bored of it all. You know, that Brexit derangement syndrome, if you like. Just really sick of the whole thing. But in the last month, I've been becoming particularly angry. This just all seems madness to me. It's madness. Anyway, to me, Boris Johnson actually sounds like a rational man. I mean, the other day he told BBC, tempers need to come down and people need to come together because it's only by getting Brexit done that you lance the boil, as it were, of the current anxiety, and we will be able to get on with the domestic agenda. And he's absolutely right. Obviously a very Boris Johnson way of speaking, but the country is going through an anxiety. We are anxious to get this done. Now, just when I was thinking I was coming a bit out of my anger, I came across another article where it's talking about John Bercow. So John Bercow said that the culture in the Commons on Wednesday was toxic, adding it was worse than I have known in my 22 years in the House. Well, my goodness, what did you expect, Bercow? Just after what you just pulled, what did you expect? Take some responsibility, man. Yes, we all saw the disgraceful scenes in the House of Commons this week. It was crazy stuff. But what did the MPs expect was going to happen after what they did? Anyway, okay. I'm going to calm down and we'll go to an article from Sky talking about what Mr. Cummings said. So Mr. Cummings, the brains behind the PM's Brexit strategy, condemned threats of violence to MPs and said he knew both Leave and Remain politicians who have had serious threats, and it's obviously bad. But he added that it is not surprising some people are angry. I'm one of them. About how MPs are dealing with Brexit. The MPs said, we will have a referendum, we will respect the result, and then they spent 3 years swerving all over the shop, he said. It's not surprising some people are angry about it. I find it very odd that these characters are complaining that people are unhappy about their behaviour now, and they also say they want a referendum. How does that compute for them? If you are a bunch of politicians and say that we swear we are going to respect the result of a democratic vote, and then after you lose you say we don't want to respect that vote, what do you expect to happen? Okay, let's just take a deep breath and we'll go on, because I did find some other articles which give me some rays of hope. And both of these speak about or mention some ideas about what might happen from here on in, which I think the Brexiteers are going to be angry to find out about. The Remainers are going to be angry to find about. They might not be able to do anything about. So apparently, government plan to invoke EU law supremacy to ensure Brexit on Halloween. A closely guarded plan known to a small handful of aides would see the new government point to the fact that Article 50 rests under EU law, while the Benn Act is enshrined in British law. European law usurps British law, a source told City AM. That means the Article 50 deadline trumps the Benn Act. Number 10 has repeatedly said that it will comply with the law while simultaneously insisting the UK will leave the EU by Halloween. This plan could see both seemingly contradictory statements come to fruition. One high-ranking Tory MP described the plan as legal, albeit a wheeze. Phraseology there. And then we go on to John Major, who has been saying it is important to note that an order of council can be passed by privy councillors, that is, government ministers, without involving Her Majesty the Queen. Excuse me. Parliament would not be able to block it. He said, "My fear is that the government will seek to bypass statute law by passing an order of council to suspend the Act until the 31st of October. That's the Benn Act, or the Surrender Act, if you like. If this route is taken, it will be in flagrant defiance of Parliament and utterly disrespectful to the Supreme Court." Well, that does sound like it'll be a good idea then if they take that route. That way, the PM could meet his do-or-die pledge to have the UK out of the EU by Halloween. John Major goes on to say, "It would be a piece of political chicanery that no one should ever forgive or forget." Well, I'm not sure about the forgive bit, but I don't think anyone's going to forget it if that's what they do. And finally, a government source told City AM, "The authors of the Surrender Bill want to prevent us from leaving the EU and forcing an extension, but interpretations of complying with the bill differ. One view is that the PM will be forced to send a letter stopping us from leaving on the 31st of October. That is not our view." Okay, Downing Street declined to comment on the specifics of their interpretation. So, is these two things what Boris has been referring to all along, as he doggedly refuses to back off his claims about leaving on the 31st of October? Anyway, so I start this angry, I'm rather amused at the end. If you've got any comments, leave them below. Like, share, subscribe if you appreciate what we do.